Get in, nerds. We are playing Burden of Command. I am going to get going here with Scenario 4 of the campaign. But first, obviously, it's going to drop us into the pre-battle situation, and I'm going to take a look at the Aid the Men thing. Now, can I give myself experience? I can give myself... I can spend loyalty to get trust. Okay, that's interesting. And trust is held on a leader-by-leader level. Alright. And I can spend prestige to get myself some experience. I'm going to get myself experience, and the reason I'm doing that, and this is kind of metagamey, but you know, it is what it is. We're being smart here, to an extent. To an extent, we're role playing, but we're being smart to an extent. Um, I feel like Sergeant Bennett has gotten a lot of characterization. Captain Lamb, I feel like, has gotten basically none. That makes me feel extremely strongly like Sergeant Bennett is going to wind up commanding First Platoon, and I'm going to wind up commanding the battalion. So, with that having been said, let's throw some experience my way. It's going to cost me 5 prestige, but I think that's worth it. And now let's do some upgrades for squads. This squad is nearly there. Some of Lieutenant Dearborn's squads should have a good amount of... Hey, this squad got their first star. That's very nice. Some of these other squads, what about you? Okay, yep, you're still improving. Alright, so Lieutenant Dearborn's got one squad up above 100. I've got a total of 4 upgrades I could do. I'm going to get the third squad of my platoon up above 100. I'm going to throw a little bit more in some of these squads that have had less experience. These two have both had some. And then Dearborn has one squad that hasn't gotten any, and Wilson's got a squad that's gotten none. So I'm going to throw a little bit in there as well. Let's try to keep the training reasonably evened out. Do I want to put more into the mortar? I think not yet. So where do I want to put the other 25 I've got kicking around? Difficult decisions. I think I'm going to put them into my first squad. Keep these units moving towards being higher level. Alright, that is everything I feel like I need right now. I got a little bit of loyalty left over, but I'll keep working on prestige, and we'll get going with that. Alright. Now we'll continue our journey. Just because you don't think they see you doesn't mean they don't. Oof. In the words of British philosopher John Cleese, the first rule of not getting seen is not to stand up. Crossroads. September 25th, 1942, Virginia, United States. Okay, so the next day. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Alright, we got us and Dearborn.
That's where we left from. We left from Newport News when we went overseas to Africa then.
Now, when you were there, did you know where you were headed at that point in time?
Nope, nobody knew where we were going or anything. I mean, until after we were out to sea for
Sure
quite some time, and then somebody said we were going to Africa.
Yes. Never, the grunts often didn't know where they were going, particularly when they were at sea, because if they knew where they were going, then they might tell somebody, and if that person ended up being a spy for the enemy, or ended up being close friends with the spy to the enemy, or just ended up being a person that runs their mouth around around people that they don't necessarily know are spies to the enemy, that information gets back to the enemy and the convoy gets attacked. So, you know, a lot of British and American propaganda shown to the troops in this time period basically amounts to shut the fuck up. Stop talking to people. Stop telling people where you're going. It's not don't talk. Stop saying words all the time. Anyway. The barracks at the other end of the courtyard are quiet and still as you approach. A starlight glance at your watch finds that it is almost time to resume training. The men have had it easy these last days, Lieutenant, Bennett says as he falls in beside you. No doubt he's eager to roust the men. Early to bed and early to rise makes them better soldiers. That's true, let's make them up now. A little suppression, but a little extra experience. Stick to the usual dawn routine. Very little experience, very little suppression. Or I'll give them an hour, the men will be ready. Once again, we're going to give them a little extra experience. Wake them up. The lights come on and the orders begin. Those who are slow to wake up aren't flipped out of their beds, but they are chided until they get ready via shit, shower, and shave. The 3 S's. After a quick and hot breakfast, they grab their gear and stumble in the dark, cursing softly under their breaths until the sunrise eventually puts an end to that. On the morning of the march, turn out promptly at the first call for reveille. Perform your toilet and make up your roll and pack or pack your saddle. According to the instructions of your commanding officer, you will water and feed your animal if mounted, eat breakfast, then wash and pack your mess kit. After breakfast, you will be allowed 10 or 15 minutes to relieve yourself and complete your pack and roll. FM 21 to 100, Soldier's Handbook, page 141. Nice. A brisk little hike ensues. The map takes you forward right up to a ravine, and the men stumble forward as best they can. Halfway to the top, the field umpire steps out from behind a tree. The expected clipboard is in his hand. The sole exercise of the day, he calls down to you, company-level operation. You are to secure the road ahead, both the crossroads near the apple orchard and the hill overlooking it. The field umpire turns and gestures toward the crest of the nearby hill. Your men groan as they realize how much further they have to go today. Why are the peaks always on top? Private Morris says. They've always been up there, Private Patterson replies. Tradition. I like those two. Ah, hell, this'll be easy, Sergeant Bennett remarks as he hikes to the top of the ravine beside you. We know our stuff, Lieutenant. Fire and movement, bombardments and assaults. Nothing to worry about. Just a bit of a walk getting there. And the field umpire blows his whistle. Enemy machine gun, plunging fire, 2 casualties. Choose one of these men. He points to Morris and Patterson. Patterson points to Morris. Morris points back at Patterson. Weigh the merits of Morris versus Patterson. Maybe Morris will complain less as a dead man. Patterson won't be so noisy as a casualty. Those 2 are a package deal. Okay, those 2 are a package deal is definitely just asking for both of them to go. Let me see. You know what? I'm just going to pick arbitrarily. I think weigh the merits. Probably, this is probably gonna be a mistake. This feels like bait, and I'm not going to take it. Patterson, you're out. You point to Patterson, and the lanky southerner lets out a sigh that seems to come all the way from Alabama. I hate dying, Patterson mumbles as he settles in beside a tree. Cheer up, it won't last long, Morris says. Besides, I could use the peace and quiet. Nice. The other casualty is your Sergeant Bennett, the field officer umpire indicates. However, he will be able to accompany you in spirit, as it were, but he may not pass along your commands. Okay, Sergeant Bennett. Sorry, Bennett, you have to be replaced. Sergeant Grant to the front. Clear my throat at the umpire. Sergeant Grant to the front. No, I'm going to apologize. Sorry, Bennett, you have to be replaced. No need to worry, LT, Sergeant Bennett says. I'm sure I went out a hero. Indeed, the field umpire says. Kindly bring up your platoon guide to replace your Sergeant Bennett. His training is important, too. Grant comes forward. All right, here's John Burden of Command. John Burden of Command is here to help. Grant comes forward. A swift explanation puts him in charge of the platoon. Both of your sergeants look your way as whistles blow once more. The rest of the men brace themselves for an uphill struggle. There's also another part of me that wonders if we aren't going to end up playing as this guy, because this is John Burden of Command. He's the face of the game. Anyway, let's get going. There is one thing, Sergeant Grant says. The sudden promotion to platoon leader clearly weighs heavily on him. It seems like every field problem included a part where, if we forgot about cover, the refs would remind us. What do you mean? That's a good point. I hear they'll have to shout out sniper. I'm going to say I hear they'll have to shout out sniper. That's the rumor. So, Sergeant Grant says, why don't we creep forward and take a quick look around? It'll slow us down, but we're waiting for Lieutenant Wilson anyway. Okay, let's creep forward and keep casualties low. The umpire signals. The exercise commences. Click to access our Bokopedia. Oh, Boko, burden of command. Bokopedia. Nice. All right. I just connected that in my head. Oh, I'm so good at video games. All right. Creep forward to this hex. Use the creep button. A unit that creeps forward will expend 2 orders and move 1 hex. It will not be subject to opportunity fire and has a chance to remain but not become hidden. Okay. Mission major defeat. Next level kills are greater than 2. Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. And for the men, this is all about casualties. Obviously, we've suffered 2 casualties already, so that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, the creep button. And are we both creeping? Am I creeping too? Can I tell? Unclear. I think I am. Yeah, because this is grayed out now. So let's creep. No extra animation for creep. Silence means security. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Quiet. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell your girlfriend where you're going. Don't be like that guy in Airplane. And there they were, a detachment of quote-unquote enemy soldiers waiting in the woods for you to come strolling toward the hill. They're in for a surprise. Stealth remains our ally. Okay, here we go. You turn to Sergeant Grant and consider how best to both secure the crossroads and the elevated position. The mission finished the exercise before turn 8. The men suffer no more than light casualties. Alright, beautiful. So there's an enemy unit. Alright, let me click off here. So I don't wind up in a situation. Let me see, what kind of a unit we got here? Do we have a real unit? We've got an anti-aircraft unit. Cavalry. Interesting. Max range on weapon is here. Alright. Alright, so they got max range of 5. What do our units have? Can I tell that? Doesn't look like it. Can I? Yeah, here we go. Max range 5. Alright, alright. Alright, so now we know we're going to get shot at by this enemy unit if we wind up going somewhere here. Ooh, I don't love the position these units are currently in because, well, these units are hidden. No, this unit's hidden. This one is not. So they could get shot at. So, how can I get myself somewhere? Yeah, they're looking straight at me, unfortunately. If this unit creeps, I can get them up to here. This unit, I could get them into... And do I have the ability to shoot here? No, because of blocked line of sight. Alright, so let's do more of that creep maneuver. I'm gonna put this unit here. And this unit here. RLT's better than yours. Ours doesn't lecture about history. Okay, we'll give you that. All right, yes. So that's probably special dialogue because I've got the verbose ability. End leader turn. Let's see what the enemy does. All right, well, I thought my guys were not visible, but apparently they're visible. Oh, cripes, I lost a fella. All right. That's not ideal. But it is what it is. Oh, that's not ideal. That's not great. So, how do we want to do this? Because I think ideally we want to get into better, more covered positions. I think ideally I want this squad here, and this squad here. This squad can get here. Okay, this area is not covered by enemy fire. So, I can go a little bit farther going that way. Unless there's another enemy unit. So this is the crossroads. And where's the heights? The heights are way over here. Alright. How do I want to do this? Again, not as much enemy coverage over here. These units... Let me take a quick look here. I can't quite tell if this unit is... This unit's clearly been seen. So maybe I've misunderstood what this logo means. In any case, let's get this unit moving to cover. And then what I'll do...
Pick it up!
Alright, so now we know that this enemy unit's here. That's an MG. Our win initiative chance is really high. This unit's really messed up. Well, this one too, actually. Gosh darn. So, this unit is looking green right now. As though they've suffered a lot of suppression. So maybe it's possible I can go straight in and just start with an attack. If Dearborn goes here, that's going to leave him with 2 points. If he bolsters this unit has enough speed to assault that unit. Anyway, let's get shooting at these fellas. That's flanking, 0 suppression for my unit. Yeah, bolstering before firing would have been nice, but unfortunately I didn't have the ability to right now. Okay, can't assault, but again, if I had Dearborn here, I would be able to. This enemy unit's really badly suppressed. But I am going to be using all of Dearborn's command points if I go here. Oh, interesting. I changed their heading right just now. So now they're up here. Oh, I should have waited. I should have waited to get my fellas in position. Because now all these spaces are covered. That was dumb. That was dumb. I did a dumb right there. Alright, well. And it's going to be 3 morale checks. I don't think I can get in there this turn, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this unit over here. And we're going to get this unit up here into the action. And then the following turn we'll be in a much better position. And we're going to hope this unit's morale holds and they're able to get where they need to go because, well, this unit's got good morale. So, bring them up. Ah, cripes. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Burden of Command. Oh, no! MG's outranged rifles. Thankfully one that is not on this battlefield. Okay, this unit is borked. That's really bad. So, I have the option of moving first squad up, or I can get Lieutenant Dearborn over here to... he can't rally that unit anyway. So, let's just get this unit into position. This might be a giant mistake, friends. We're going to move this unit via waypoints. But I can't get there. It's worth it to be up on the up in cover. Oh, I don't like that sound. Okay. Whew. All right, and then can we shoot here? We can definitely shoot here. All right, so this will cause a little bit more suppression. Can I bolster first? I can bolster first. Let's do it. And then first squad can go ahead and shoot. Alright, so we got some suppression on them. Did we take any casualties over here? I don't think so. Alright, so that's the end of my turn. We'll see what the enemy does. Oh! Second platoon coming up. Sergeant Grant calls over to you. Lieutenant Wilson must have hustled them right over the ridge. If training were a game of chess, then this would be a strong move. He points toward a hillside where 30-odd men, along with their umpire, scramble along the wooded crest. Lieutenant Wilson leads them from the front. Ooh, he looks like a little bit of a graybeard. Maybe he was in the First War. Nice. Good to have a lot of returning talent. It's funny. So many of the U.S. High Command ends up knowing each other because they're all basically the class of West Point that graduates into 1917 when the USA properly joins the war. So they're all leading, platoons and companies and battalions in the First World War, and then they all wind up being in the High Command. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but particularly for the Army High Command, a lot of them know each other, and a lot of them are from that particular graduating class at West Point. At the United States, West Point is the United. Oh, what's the actual name of West Point? I believe it's just called the United States Military Academy, but don't quote me on that. In any case, the runners should make contact shortly, the field umpire says, and then checks his watch. All right. So, unfortunately, this area is covered. What are the chances I could go directly in and get up to some nonsense? Okay, I think these areas are not covered. So if I go here, then I can shoot to flank and bring more units into the action afterward. I could do something ridiculously bold. Like, I could run this unit up here and then attempt an assault straight through here. That would be bananas, though. That would be terrible planning. That would be an extreme risk-taking maneuver. This spot is... I can't tell if I've got the movement to get in there. I'm not sure. It's got excellent cover. Yes, I do have the ability to get in here. So that copse is a good location to wind up. Can this unit get in there? They cannot. But they could get there after a couple of moves. On the other hand, if I order this unit forward, that's a risk because there's potentially more enemy troops over here. I don't want to put myself in a gnarly position there. If I can get this enemy unit... Oh, it is turn 2. It is turn 2. Okay. So I don't need to necessarily activate those units right away. So, I have the ability to do an assault right away right here. And that's really going to help clear things up. So I think probably Lieutenant Unnamed is who I want to activate first. Because this spot isn't covered. So let's do that. Let's start with Lieutenant Unnamed. Bolster this unit.
Let's get back out there.
And head straight in. I don't need to do a leadership check to go here. Alright. Pray for rain, friends.
Drag out. Go, damn it, go!
Whew. Nice. All right. Now, what are the chances I can make that happen a second time? No, let's not be an absolute banana about this. We've got a lot of ability to move forward. Are you still in creep mode? You're not. And then this squad. So this squad can get forward to here safely. This squad can get forward to here, but not safely. So I can get these units moving up and potentially able to shoot. One, two, three, four, five. They do have the reach if they move here. And they do have the ability to see here. So we'll bring them up. Again, as you can see, I'm being extremely risk averse right now. Right, and then they don't. They don't have the ability to shoot. Max weapon range 5, but I thought... Oh, okay, that must have been line of sight from where they were before. Alright, well, that was an error, but that's okay. I'm going to sacrifice Lieutenant Unnamed's ability to go somewhere or do something from here, but I think that's okay. I think that's sensible to bring this unit up. Up early.
Only so much shit a man can stand.
Alright. I think I'm good for now. I'm going to want to go on to Lieutenant Wilson afterward, because I want to take out this unit. Let's see what the enemy does.
Scheiße!
Oh, stop swearing! Okay. Now. How do I want to do this? I think first... I gotta get this unit out of the way before I can be bananas about this. So let's send them over here. I can't get you here because of the movement points. If I do a bolster on this squad right now, they probably would have the reach to attack this, to assault this squad. But that squad's fully rallied now. So that's not going to work as well unless I soften them up first. So to do that, let's bring this unit in. Just the first squad. Uh-oh. Ah, cripes.
Fire!
Oh, no. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, so they got shot at from up here. All right, that could have gone a lot better. That could have gone a lot better. All right. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move this unit up here. We'll see if we can take shots at this enemy unit. Oop. No, this isn't the right command. This is... What do you look like? Not great. Alright, but if I move Lieutenant Wilson in there to bolster this unit... could be a lot better.
We gotta finish this.
Nice. Alright, so second squad. What does it look like? Yeah, no way in hell. But shooting still half and half. Ooh, I've definitely goofed myself. Alright. And I can't activate this unit because I did that bolster. Alright, we're going to pull this unit back to this heavy cover over here. Whew, alright. Feeling a lot better. Can't shoot here. So this means... and this is still not great. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I bolstered and everything. What is... It's a height differential problem. Alright. That's okay. That's okay. We'll be able to do more later. Alright, that's not ideal. I think we're going to activate Lieutenant Dearborn first. First of all, he's got to go here and rally this unit. Dang it. That's okay.
Rally around me.
But unfortunately, that's all they can do right now. Okay, and I've wasted all of Lieutenant Dearborn's command points. All right, so not the greatest turn one. All right, well, we'll see what the enemy does. Not the greatest turn two, really.
Raff dich auf.
Turns left total 13. A runner jogs over and halts before you. Lieutenant Stearns. This lieutenant's got a. This runner's got a stutter. I've decided. Lieutenant Stearns says to tell you he can have the mortars ready to pound the enemy to crap whenever the refs blow the whistle. That was quick, Sergeant Grant notes, and glances toward the northeast, where the runner came from. Usually the weapons platoon lags even further behind. We should send a runner to show him the sight lines. Stern knows his work, extra trust, or send a runner, 2 XP. Trust is better. Lieutenant Stern knows his work. Stern knows where to put his guns for maximum effect. Consider the enemy's line of sight. The enemy has elevation, which makes their lines of sight superior, especially anything atop the hill where the MG is also set up. You can check the line of sight of any hex by left-clicking it. Shaded hexes will show what can be seen. If need be, the line of sight tool reveals even more detail. Stern's men continue their march with stovepipes and logs in hand. All right. So it has become turn 3. Unfortunately. So how do I want to get this started? I got an MG here, I got a mortar here, and Stern is over here. So, can I order Stern to bombard this unit? No, because I can't spot it. But oh, right, because I'm not playing the captain in this round, just a lieutenant. What about Dearborn? Okay, so Stern needs to be able to see this situation in order for it to go down properly. Oh, this is a headache. This is a headache. What I really need to do Stern's MG cannot see them. Stern's other MG cannot see them. Alright, so our MGs are not in ideal positions. But we could move them to get them into ideal positions. Now, MGs can't shoot after moving. Part of me wants to just bolster this unit and attack here just to give them some suppression and then see if I can take them prisoner. But that would be really, really dumb. Alright, this unit can't move very far. Why not? Is it because of suppression? Difficult. Difficult situation. Alright, so how do I want to do this? I need to get a visual to whatever's over here causing me the problem. I know that's a problem. Actually, can you see over here? No, you cannot. So you can see all of this. What about you? You can oh, interesting. So you can see the heights but not the valleys. So if I send units around, they won't necessarily be able to see you, and that'll put me in a better position. Ooh, yes, this is a good tool. Okay, okay. And this unit can see everything in front of him, but only just. And these valleys he can't see, same with this area. Alright. And I know there's another enemy unit over here. I should see if I can... One option is to recon by fire into that area. Let me see what had... So this was the spot where my unit got pummeled from. So it could be any of these spots up here, but none of these. It's not going to be this one. I would have seen anything here. So I think it's going to be one of these units. I think I would have seen a unit here, but these shrubs are not large enough to block LOS. Well, hold on. What kind of terrain are you? Unit bases. Yes, I do want unit bases visible. Anyways, what do we have line of sight of from here? Okay, from here, there is line of sight to this enemy unit, but this enemy unit does control that area. So, I do not want to creep a unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I won't have the range. MG squad, your max range is 14. That makes sense, right? So let's go ahead and so I'll activate Stern. Is that wise? Or is it better to deal with the situation right up in front of me here? I think a reposition in this situation is more important. So here's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to grab this platoon. I'm going to put them in this squad. I'm going to put them in creep mode, and I'm going to get them into the heaviest cover I can find. Just the squad. I'm going to grab this squad. I can't put them in creep mode. Why not? Because it costs 2 orders. Alright, so I need to bring Stern down here to them to rally them. Alright, that was a mistake on my part, but that's okay. Alright. And why did that cost both of his... Did Stern go to creep mode? Okay. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. So, Lieutenant Stern's 3rd squad is just going to be sitting back there again. Alright, what does the enemy do?
Lasst uns den Army zeigen!
Oh, man.
Haltet sie in Deckung!
Okay, they got a lot of units over there. I need to get Dearborn's unit out of here. If I could get a freaking visual to this area. So they can't be up on any of these hexes, because I can see these hexes. Is it all just from this MG squad? It must be. But that means this MG squad's out of points. So they can't do jack all right now. I could rally, but I'm getting the bejesus beat out of me, and that would mean I couldn't do anything else. Well, this whole situation down here failed. This squad have the ability to shoot here? Yes, but not well. What does this look like? Too low morale. Interesting. I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to bolster here. I got to get going forward. So this looks really good. What does an assault look like? 50-50. All right. That is not good. If the unit shoots by themselves, I think that works. It's going to give them a lot of suppression. So let's do it. Alright, we took some suppression. We revealed ourselves. They're heavily suppressed. Unfortunately, I can't do anything useful with that right now. Actually, yes, I can. This is really great. Invalid target. Why are they invalid? Are you tired? So I press here. I think this was just popping up for this hex. I'm gonna see what this looks like.
Win this one.
I'm gonna see what this looks like. This is really greedy, but I can't. Okay, well that was a mistake. All right, I gotta get another squad up here. So unfortunately, you're coming with me. Shouldn't take too much attack because they're suppressed. And they can shoot. Can they charge? They can. Alright. Get these nerds out of here. Come on. Yes. Alright. Beautiful. That is... that is a real weight off my shoulders. Alright. That unit's probably going to have hell to pay. Now, that means a lot of this area is no longer covered. And on my next command turn, on my next leader turn, I can do a lot of maneuvering over here. So we'll see what the enemy does. Alright. I am gonna... I'm gonna get Dearborn and his squad the heck out of Dodge. It hurts that I have to do this, but I think... Can I put them in... I can't put them in creep mode. I made a real mistake moving to this hex. I gotta... Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Go from loss to loss without... Go from defeat to defeat without loss of enthusiasm. That's the end of Dearborn's turn. But that's okay. Now, for Lieutenant Stern, again, what does visibility look like? Can't suppress that MG squad under the current circumstances, but I can get these units into better positions. So, first, let's get this MG. Oh, hold on. We'll move up this way. Everything okay there? Okay. This MG squad can't creep. Interesting. I'm going to put them in the heavy cover here. Mortars, there's functionally no limit on weapon range, right? 20 hexes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's the whole map. Alright. So functionally no limit on mortar range in the tactical sense here. So, do you have the ability to drop mortars on this squad yet? Doesn't look like it. So we're going to be doing a lot of maneuvering next round. Alright. Let's call it a turn. Alright. Turn is left 12. A messenger from Company HQ hurries over. Lieutenant Captain Lamb wants you over at command post now, and that's a direct order. The refs finally let our captain in. Did I do something wrong? Just follow the messenger. The refs finally let our captain in. You were wondering when the Nichols company commander would be allowed to take part in the exercise? For whatever reason, that time is now. You find Captain Lamb map in hand with 3 other messengers, one each for 2nd, 3rd, and weapons platoon. After he glances your way, he dismisses them. Them fellas really want to put us in a pickle, don't they? He asks as you approach. The refs delight in our torment, directness +1. But pickles are made to be eaten, sarcasm +1. Nod, remain utterly reserved. Pickles are made to be eaten, sir. They certainly are, he says, and lets slip a little chuckle. Then he taps his map. The umpires say we need to take that hill without taking too many casualties. What do I need to know? May I ask where they were keeping you? We're trying to move forward. False solid. May I ask where they were keeping you? They shoved a heap of mess hall trouble my way, claimed it couldn't wait. But I threw Sergeant Landry at the paperwork and snuck out. We're trying to move forward. And they don't make it easy, Captain Lamb notes. Okay, we'll develop your plan. What are the sight lines? Indicate the hill's sight lines. Sketch a map in the dirt. I'm going to sketch a map in the dirt. The hills dominate, Captain Lamb remarks. Note that they've got a machine gun. So they got an MG that outranges our rifles, and they probably got even more squirreled away. Indicate the extent of cover. Note likely ambush places. I'm going to note likely ambush places. Cover is good for us, but also good for them. Anything else? Oh. Huh. Nothing. Then let's get to it. To it, Captain Lamb says, and let's slip an eager smile that stirs your nearby men to action. Yes, sir. Nod, salute. Yes, sir. Move out, Captain Lamb says. And with that, you return to your platoon. For the first time in a long while, the entire company is training together. Alright, so Captain Lamb is here, and he's dangerously close to a situation. Alright, so that's good. Now, what do you have visibility to? Visibility? Have I encountered a problem? It's a new turn. Can I do the thing? Oh. Oh, I've been doing this wrong. I see. Okay. Okay. Now what about you? Okay. I see. So there's nothing between this stuff here and this MG. But if we can get up to these hills, we can have ourselves a pretty good chance. Because like this is blocked. 0%, right? No, these are green. These are yellow. Interesting. So what about here? Okay, but this one can't look up there. But here, this is only a half hex. I can't put a unit there. I assume I can't put a unit there. So I need line of sight to be able to drop a mortar bombardment on this unit. But this thing is pointed this way. So if I can get someone over here who can have visibility to this MG, I can drop mortar shells on them. And then they'll be toast. Okay, so this unit can see up here. So if I can get Stern over here, then I can get some suppression on that unit, and that can be a lot easier. With that having been said, I need to bring up more units. First, you need to rally this squad.
up!
And then these squads need to... I don't know what's going on with this unit's movement. Do I have... Oh, there's a bunch of, like, bocage and garbage here. Alright. Well, that's fine. Where are our other units? There's you and there's you. Alright, so you need to come up here, sir. Alright, and then... Alright, so this territory is covered. Alright, this was probably not the ideal person to move first, but it is what it is. Yeah, I need to get Stern up into this action. Okay, and is this spot cover? So this spot is a place that I could go. So if I can get Stern over here without getting absolutely massacred by this machine gun. This is like scrub. Can I see what my current cover situation is? Non-edge cover 0%. Okay, and to confirm what I think I know, non-edge cover 30%. Alright, so this unit is not presently in cover. So I need to hike them either forward or back and into some cover. I think for that, some creeping is going to be required. If I move them forward, this will leave them sitting ducks, but then I will be able to get Dearborn's units over to the north. I'm going to do it. Now, I know there's an enemy squad over here somewhere, because I don't think that was the machine gun shooting there. I'm suddenly having second thoughts about this decision, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is training. I'm allowed to make mistakes in training. So, Lieutenant Dearborn, you just got... Oh, I can't do anything with Dearborn. Gosh darn. Alright. I got a rally.
We are needed again.
Dearborn's going to have another wasted turn, but that's okay. Now, Stern. Okay. So this does say line of sight's clear from here to here. And again, from here, it's blocked into this hex. And it's blocked into all of these hexes. So, if I... If I bolster this squad, they'll be able to get a little farther. But also, I want to be cautious about this, because there could be another enemy unit over here that I don't know about. So, Stern, move your MG forward. Alright, that does not give us any visibility over here, like I was hoping for. I could take command of this unit with Captain Lamb. Push them forward over there, but again, I don't want them to get eviscerated. But again, I think this machine gun is pointed this way. Do I have line of sight here? Ultimately, the answer is I'm going to end up taking a risk. And this machine gun, again, does not have coverage of anything here. So if I run up my MG, on the other hand, I want to have the ability to... Okay, there's no coverage there. Moving an MG out forward is risky. And what does this spot give us visibility to? It gives us visibility all around here. Can I see up here? I can't. I can. Alright, so I know this spot is not occupied by an enemy. Okay, no, this squad can see all these areas. Alright, so if I have the captain take command of this squad and move them forward, that'll put me in a slightly better position. I know I'm agonizing here, friends, but I've taken some rough hits this run, and I don't want to put myself in a bad position here. I'm doing it. Uh-oh. Cripes. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh, I took two casualties. Alright. That's okay, though. Because... Alright, before we do this... What spots add visibility to here? Okay. I think they're up in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw... I can't throw mortar shells here, which is where I want to throw them. Can I do recon by fire and weapon range? I can. Hold on. Before I do that, let's grab just the MG. Okay, so they're not there. They're there. Oh! I nailed him. Nice. Alright, and just for funsies, let's drop some mortar rounds on there. Huh, that's an interesting outcome. And then Lieutenant Stern. Again, I'm going to check the visibility of this MG one more time. Alright, so if I put him in either of these spots, he'll be okay. Well, again, ultimate goal is to get him here. Because from here, no, we can't see the MG from there. But at least getting him a little ways forward is going to be useful. Alright, so let's put Lieutenant Unnamed over here. Or no, he's not activated right now. So we'll just put Lieutenant Stern here. Oh, cripes. Alright, so there's an enemy unit up there. They must have been the ones that shot at my boy. Okay. So, where can I see this territory from? So they can see all of this. Oh, that's not great. That's not ideal. Alright. I think I need to take command of this unit and get him over here to where they can get to where they need to be. And then unfortunately these guys are sitting ducks, and that's kind of going to be the situation right now. All right.
Sammeln!
All right. Now, first, I need to rally this unit.
We ain't out of fight yet.
Next, I need to move this unit up. To be able to get into the action. Okay, this unit can see all these locations here. So, move this unit here. And then they'll be able to recon by fire next turn. Can this unit recon by fire anywhere useful? Not really. Alright, so... Oh, this unit can still move. If Captain Lamb grabs him. Okay, I made a mistake there, I think. Alright, and that does cost Captain Lamb one additional point. That's okay, though. Captain Lamb... Can't put you in creep mode. But I can put you in with this unit, and I think that's what I'm... No, I'm going to put you behind this unit in heavy cover. So that's your last point. And then... I think we're actually good for now. Wait, there is one thing I can do. I can move Lieutenant Wilson up here. I can press this unit.
These Jerrys get to die for Hitler.
And then they... See if you can find anybody up there. Sir? Got him. Alright, we do have an enemy unit there. Okay, that's useful to know for next turn. And that is all I've got for now. Unfortunately, this squad is going to be toast for the moment. But that is what it is. Wonder what tricks they've got planned for us up ahead, Sergeant Grant says, as the two of you consider the terrain and the map. The way Bennett tells it, the fellows who write these exercises always like trying to be clever. The enemy is prepared and has chosen this ground for a specific reason. The crossroads and machine gun position remain in Red Team's hands. A runner races over and motions hurriedly for the umpire's attention. Naturally, he gives it. Naturally, Sergeant Bennett slips over to you. He certainly doesn't look dead. How are you holding up, LT? Bennett says. Fine. We haven't taken the crossroads yet. Get a little advice. Okay, I'll get a little advice. Notice, the umpires have too, and I've overheard a few things, Sergeant Bennett says and leans in. We can talk about how they work, and especially this field problem as well as solutions. I feel like I've got all this. Move on to other subjects. Discuss something else. I feel like I know the rules. Tactical cohesion. Keep your units together, or at least where they can support each other. You can rush a leader with a squad forward and have some fun, but eventually they'll get surprised or suppressed and things will fall apart. Then you'll need your other squads with you to help pull their fat from the fire by flanking and fire. The war is bigger than just one squad. Alright. End this dialogue. Alright. Roger, LT. Bennett says softly as the umpire slowly turns back your way. See you on the other side of all this. Alright. Alright, so we know the enemy is up here. Stern. Oop. Stern. So you have the ability to mortar this unit. That unit's a good target. They're covering the approaches, obviously. I think best plan, first things first. I want to get this unit out of dodge. And that means pulling them back to here. That means pulling them back to here. So I've currently got Dearborn's battalion, Dearborn's platoon activated. I don't have the ability to get Dearborn all the way up here, do I, or do I? I do. All of a sudden, Lieutenant Dearborn stands up, signaling the referees for a timeout as he strides towards you. With respect to our judges, we must protest the parameters of this exercise, Lieutenant Dearborn declares as he pulls out a pack of smokes. The enemy's fire has proven to be so accurate as to approach the supernatural. Yes, they do. It's an exercise. What do you expect? I'm pissed too. Nod along. Remain silent. It's an exercise. What do you expect? The potential for a reasonable solution. For one, the machine gun at the top of the hill is so well sighted that a prudent commander would surely bypass this approach rather than beating their head against it, like Burnside at Fredericksburg. We have no smoke, we have no planes or sustained artillery. There are tools warranted for the resolution of a problem such as this one, and we have been allowed none of them. Your choice may change Dearborn or the battlefield. Maybe that's the point, a trial of character. Dearborn gains morale. Take it up with Captain Lamb. Dearborn gains trust. What do you want me to do? Complain? Dearborn removes suppression. Morale. What is morale? Dearborn's morale is currently fine. Dearborn doesn't have any suppression. Ooh. Nod slowly. Regains some orders. Trust is really important in the long term. Take it up with Captain Lamb. An excellent notion, Dearborn remarks, as if he had not briefly forgotten the chain of command. I shall do precisely that when proximity and time allow. At your dismissal, Dearborn heads off. When he reaches his men, he signals to again to the umpires. They continue the exercise. He's upset, but he has a point, Sergeant Grant says to you. The enemy picks the ground when they're playing defense. Bennett would always say that it's their battlefield and we're just fighting on it. Maybe it won't always be that way, but we've got to expect it will be. Hell of an exercise. We train like we expect to fight, LT, Sergeant Grant says. That means making sure the enemy's tough. Speaking of that, shouldn't we shove them off that hill? Trial of character, here we go. I must lodge a complaint. Trial of character, here we go. I'm trying to find a place to put a pause in here. You look to Sergeant Grant and find him waiting for orders. Dearborn sure is undaunted at our prospects against the MG, Lieutenant, Sergeant Grant remarks slightly beside you. He's not wrong, and while soldiers are trained to take cover at the first crack of a rifle round, sometimes it is better to keep moving, to reach good cover or even close with the enemy in assault despite incoming fire. However, that gusto doesn't prevent casualties. The umpires are fond of saying that bullets don't consider bravery in the equation when they hit. Veterans can sometimes ignore suppression. Training is important, experience more so. Casualties still happen. Training is important, experience more so. Green troops are vulnerable and will remain so until they become veterans. A shrill whistle blows. The exercise resumes. All right. I got to put a pause in here, friends. I'm having a heck of a time. I'm really enjoying this, but I do got to put a pause in here because I think we've been going over an hour with this one battle. And I can't let these episodes get too long because I've got a lot of them to record. So, that is all we've got time for the moment, my nerds. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. This game is still only $20, and that's only going to last another couple of days, so it's a great time to get it. I'll see y'all on the other side.